Alright, today we're going to make some yummy corn chips. First you start off by getting either 3 cups of corn on the cob, just chop it off, or you can just take a bag of frozen corn like I did and let it defrost a little bit and put it in a blender. I think I have a tad bit more than 3 cups, but it's okay. And then we will take 1/4 of an onion, chopped up. Just dump that in the mixture. Now, I've made these before, and I decided I was going to add another ingredient. I'm adding about, I'd say maybe 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon of cilantro. I love cilantro. That's one of my favorite smells in the whole world. So I thought, you know, maybe that would be cool if we had like a little bit of an essence of cilantro in there. And then you can take whatever spices you want. If you like spicier chips, you can use like a paprika and cayenne type thing. I'm going to probably do about a tablespoon or maybe 2 teaspoons of salt. All the taste. Let's take out the excess here. I'm just going to do a couple shakes of cumin. And a few twists of the peppercorn. And then you grab the top. I was thinking another thing that would taste really good in this would be maybe some lime. I don't have any limes here right now, so that's why I didn't do that. But then you just grind it up. And I figured it was going to do that, and if it does, what you can do is just add a tad bit of water. Alright, so we got this all blended up. Actually added a little bit too much water, so I just added more corn. But this is the consistency of it. It's kind of thick, and it's definitely runny, but it's not really runny like how it was before I had to add more corn. And I actually tasted this when I turned off the camera for a second, and it tastes super, super good. It reminds me a lot of like a, I don't know, a really fresh tasting cream corn. So I'll stop talking. What we're going to do is we're going to spread this really thin. Once I spread it out, I'll get the camera on so you can see. Just going to fill it up like that. My dehydrator has an extra tray that goes over a tray for making like fruit rolls, like fruit roll-ups. So I found that very helpful for making these chips. But just spread it out real thin. But like I was saying, you could easily make this into like a Thanksgiving side dish and serve it as cream corn. It's really, really good. Or even use it to fill up a romaine lettuce and use this as a filling. That would be good too. I'm coming up with too many ideas.
That would be yummy.
Would it be yummy?
Yeah. Oh, I never tried it. I'm the same for you.
And this is a little thick, so I'm going to have to take some off. Okay, so I got a couple of the trays filled, but I wanted to show you, since I don't have very many of the trays that for the fruit roll-up trays, I ended up using parchment paper, which you can buy at any store, basically just where they sell the saran wrap. You don't want to use wax paper, I wouldn't think, because wax paper might cause some waxy filling to show up on your chips. So I just dump out a little bit, and I'm striving for about 1/4 of an inch. You don't want any holes whatsoever, because I'm not sure if it's necessary or not, but I always go through and flip it about halfway through. And this takes longer than the kale chips because it's definitely wetter, so. But a lot of times it ends up getting rolled up, and it helps if you just dump some on there. It helps to flatten it out some. Not totally, obviously, but. My husband said yesterday after watching one of my videos that I need a tripod, so if he's willing, I'll pick him up on it, and these videos will get a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. So just spread this out. Alright, so I got 4 trays full of this stuff, and I'm reserving a tad bit in the blender so I can use it on something else, because I think I'm going to make some sort of taco with romaine lettuce. That got me hungry thinking. So I put this top on and just plug it in. And we're good to go. When we're done, I'll let you see what it looks like. I might even try to show you when I flip it over how you're going to flip it, and we'll go from there. So these ones have been on the dehydrator for about 3.5 hours, and what I do is just peel this off the parchment paper. And really don't even need it anymore at this point.
When the mash spice, it's not that good.
Yeah, we made a batch before, and I put too many salty, or not salty, but spicy flavors in there, but this time it's not. So you could just put it back on like that, since it's not wet anymore. Uh-oh, that one was still a little wet. That's okay. You can just keep pulling it off. Or start from the other side.
Whoa.
It's okay. We'll just pull this off. So at this stage, if you wanted to, you could almost use this as like a taco shell. Like, I mean, it's still a little bit pliable. So you could, you know, fill it up, and that would be a good taco shell. You could even dehydrate it like that, so it's going to be more crunchy. And so yeah, then I'll basically just flip this over, and I'm going to run this again for probably another 3 hours.